I wanted to take this opportunity to make a video around Gymshark events in general, where they've come from, where we are now, and where they're going in the future. So we're in Frankfurt this weekend for the Gymshark event, and I wanted to take this opportunity to make a video around Gymshark events in general, where they've come from, where we are now, and where they're going in the future. Events to Gymshark have been one of the most pivotal and important parts of growing the business and getting to understand and getting to know the people that are following Gymshark and buying from Gymshark in general. Gymshark events started when the company first started. So the first event that we ever did was an event in Birmingham, our hometown, called BodyPower. Now before Gymshark actually started, myself and all of my friends would go to BodyPower, and it would be an amazing opportunity for us to sort of meet our heroes. And I remember the one year when Gymshark had just sort of started, I actually had to leave the event early because I had my shift at Pizza Hut that night. And I remember thinking, in terms of Gymshark, we just have to be here next year. And the guy that I actually spoke to was a guy called Ollie, who was one of the guys that ran BodyPower at the time. And I remember saying to him, we need a stand here. What can we do to get a stand here? And I remember he told me the price, and the price was more money than we'd seen in our lives. But what he did also say is that then you would pay over a 12-month period. And I had no idea what I was doing, but we just took the risk and we just did it. And we were working literally every single day to make this product, and we earned enough money, and we even had a little bit extra. And it was with that extra money that the initial Gymshark athletes all flew over. None of this was done with too much logic in mind or reasoning. It was just something that felt right, and it was something that we really, really wanted to do. And I'll never forget that feeling on the Friday morning when the doors opened at BodyPower. We had no idea if anyone would even know that we were there or who we were, and we just got flooded with people. And it was crazy how there was these huge brands that have been in the industry for years, and they were coming up to us and they were saying, how did you guys do this? And to be honest, I had no idea. Again, we just followed our gut instinct and we did what felt right. So that was the first Gymshark event, and that was probably one of the most memorable and amazing experiences of my entire life. After that first event, we went to a ton of events, and I remember at the end of, I think it was our first or second year in business, we had our profit number. The accountant said, this is how much money that you've made. And the following day, we spent every single penny and more on going all the way around the world and doing events. And this was literally, once again, spending every single penny we had with no idea what would happen, but just doing something that our gut instinct told us was the right thing to do. So there was a number of reasons why we ended up stopping doing events, but the main one was I was at the LA Fit Expo, and there was a lad that came up to me, and I think he wanted to meet Steve. He queued 6 hours, and he's paid $30 to get into this show, and then Steve had to go somewhere. Steve had to move on through no fault of his own, and this guy never got to meet Steve. I remember thinking to myself, I personally would not come to this event because I wouldn't pay the money knowing that I had to wait for such a substantial period of time and not even be guaranteed the fact that I will be able to meet my favourite athlete. And it was after that show that we said that we weren't going to do this again. And we focused on creating our own sort of event, if that makes sense. Today, the ethos behind our event is exactly as it was then. It's just a case of creating the most incredible experience that we possibly can. Like, what would we want if we were going to an event? And let's go off and make that happen. So we left the era of expos. I remember we were in California and we were doing a shoot with Nikki, and I remember she said she wanted to go to the Toronto Pro Show, and then she also said, wouldn't it be cool if we did a meetup whilst we was there? So we thought, you know what, why not, let's do it. And the amount of people that turned up was just crazy, like it was insane. We finished that, and then we did a meetup world tour, and we went everywhere. We went all down the East Coast, the West Coast, we went all the way through the UK, and we just went all over just meeting people, and there was no Gymshark product there. It was literally a case of, we're going to be in this location at this time, who wants to come say hi? And it was actually at that event, and there was a guy in Dublin that actually inspired me to start this YouTube channel. So historically,
Don't mind me.
Weirdo. So yeah, we was in Dublin, and it was this lad that came up to me and he said, just make a video. Can you just make a video that tells me about, like, I guess how you started the business and what it's like to do your job? And that's the reason that I made that first video. It was sort of the snowball effect of that, which is why I'm still doing these videos today. So yeah, the world tour was absolutely incredible, and that sparked the next thing, which again was led by Nikki, which was the pop-up store for her first range. And again, it was just amazing because it was like a meetup. We had all the benefits of the expo because we had product there. That particular particular store had unique products in terms of it was launching Nikki's range. We did a few more stores, and then where we are today, as you can see behind me, is we're using sort of big warehouse style spaces. This is really expensive for us to do, but again, we're trying to work out how we can make the coolest event possible and just the best experience. And I think something really cool happens when you get a lot of like-minded people together under one roof, and I think really cool conversations happen. So yeah, Gymshark events are an amazing part of the business, and I think they really are the nucleus of the brand. We do a bunch of really special things, but I feel like the magic really does happen at the Gymshark events. So it's Friday, the event is now ready for tomorrow. We're really excited for it. All the athletes are in town, so let's see how it goes. Everything's going really well. It's been a really smooth day. The event space here is actually really big. Sort of like last few people going through the athlete queue. The amount of people here to see David and Steve is mental. Now these are so cool. This was actually a really cool idea. And the branding on these is so clean, and I'm well happy with it. Everything in our event will be packed into those two shipping containers. So yeah, they're amazing, and they're an awesome bit of branding. People have been stood taking pictures around them all day, and that is a storm, and that sounds very aggressive. I've had a few pictures in front of them, and yeah, they've become a little attraction in themselves, to be fair, and even all the athletes are just taking pictures in front of them at the end of the day. Hello, how's it going? You all right? Nice to meet you. What's your name?
So crazy meeting
nice you. Nice to meet you. All right. What's your name?
Ananya.
Ananya.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you. It's
Hi,
crazy.
mate. How's it going? Nice to meet you. I'm Ben. How are you?
Thank
cool.
you so much.
Yes, and look, these are the velo taxis. They look amazing. Like, really impressed with them. And then people just jump in the back and just get ferried to and from the train station, basically. It's crazy as well, right? This always shocks me, and we've been doing this now for 6 or 7 years, which makes me feel really old, by the way. How quickly everything gets broken down. So this event finished, what, 10 minutes ago? Probably 10 minutes ago? And it's literally a different place. Like, this also shocked me at the expos, because it's exactly the same. Everything is just gone, and it takes days and days and days to build, and it's just gone instantly at the end. So look at this. A load of the flooring's already been pulled out. Literally, and this, what, no joke, all the products are gone, already broken down, tills are gone, all the gym equipment's gone, everything's just completely and utterly gone. These guys over here, they'll normally sit by the tills. We'll have a separate sort of creative section in the event space, and they'll be editing on the fly. Some of the all access videos that you might have seen. Up here was all the shopping stuff, all completely gone, completely stripped bare within 5 minutes of the event finishing. Well, there you go. And out of nowhere, we've got a cash machine in here. I didn't realise this, actually. Here we were told it's all cash based, so cash point. And to be honest, I'm not even sure if we got that cash point, if it was already here, but cash point. Cash point. Something that I really wanted to talk about in this video as well was more of the future of our events, and being totally candid. These events cost us an absolute fortune. We don't make any money on them whatsoever. Our event will always be free. There's absolutely no pressure to buy anything or anything like that. Our events will be free. The reason that we do them is because we want to unite the conditioning community. I foresee our events being completely different to how they are now in a few years' time, and we're constantly thinking about ways that we can improve on this, and there's a bunch of takeaways that we've already got. Myself and Mitch and the team have already sat down, and we've got a bunch of ideas of what we can do for our next event, which is going to be in July in Manchester, which is going to be incredible, the biggest and the best event we've ever done, believe you me. And yeah, and I think for me, I'm thinking, and again, this is sort of me thinking out loud, so this could sound ridiculous, but I want to somehow work out how we can give every single individual a brilliant experience without having queue times. Now that's going to mean more things such as seminars, maybe Q&As, more of a performance style event, similar to if you're going to go and see a musician. I've got no idea what that looks like. That's for us to brainstorm, that's for us to create something really special for you guys to experience. But if anyone does have any ideas, always happy to hear them. I really want people to be able to leave this event having either learned something or they've got something to take away from it, because I think at that point that's where it becomes really big and really exciting. But more than ever, we've got a lot of people that are interested in the back end of Gymshark and the more commercial and business side, and we're getting a lot of questions about that. So that's possibly something that we're going to start to incorporate into our events if that's what you guys want to see. I think we're also going to start tiering our events a little bit. So one thing that we've noticed is If we want to do events on this scale, then it's going to be really difficult for us to do so, especially if we're investing as heavily into our product as what we want to. So we won't be able to do huge, we were thinking let's do big events almost every single month, whereas what it's probably going to look a little bit more like is huge big events sort of like this, if not bigger, maybe once every 3 months. We'll probably do the UK, Germany, and maybe a few in the US. And then we'll probably have to do smaller events in other areas, because otherwise we just, one, can't afford to do the big events, and we'll just end up doing them badly. And one of the things that we really want to do as, I guess, as a company is we want to do less better. We'd rather do less things really well. We'd rather build less but much more improved product rather than just sort of, you know, saturate the market with a bunch of product. We don't want to just throw events around and start doing them left, right and centre unless we feel there's a genuine purpose and reason for each event, and we're going to be doing each event to the best of our ability. So yeah, there's a lot to go on, there's a lot of learns from this, and there's a bunch of improvement in the future. If anyone does have any ideas, please comment down below. We're working really hard, we want to do special things, we want to leave a legacy, we want to build a brand that's going to last forever, and we want to be like the UK's answer to a Nike or an Under Armour or something like that.